if you're going to work with a partner or partners, this is how you're going to go about setting it up. These first steps are all going to be for partner number one. So I'm going to create a new project, and we'll call this one Final Game Collaborative Showing. Choose your preset. I'm going to choose standard definition 16:9 because it already sets me a decent viewport size, especially for a final arcade game. But create your project. In your main project settings for the project properties, when I select my project name, it'll open up here. I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to come to Advanced, and under UID numbering, I'm going to choose Random. The problem with choosing UID numbering as if you choose increment, you may end up with conflicts, so make sure you set it to random at the start. You cannot change this later. So set this up now. I would also suggest that you create a new layout with event sheet so that you have partner 1's layout, partner 2's layout, so that you're not working on the same thing. So this is our base setup. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save the project as a project folder, and I'll locate to a new folder inside of my repository. And for me, I'm going to make a new folder. I'm going to call this one my collaborative project, and I'm going to save it here and give access to editing. So now I have this project locally saved, and I've got my initial settings. I can close it down, and I will open up GitHub Desktop. In GitHub Desktop, you're going to make sure you select your repository. In your repository, you have to make sure that you have two files inside of your ignore. So repository settings, ignored files. I'm going to put in these two ignores. This is going to ignore a file on your Mac that's being made. This is going to ignore the tab layouts. Otherwise, you're going to end up rewriting each other's work, and it's going to be really frustrating. So make sure you put these in, or it won't show up. And then I also need to make sure that I have so now I can actually publish my repository, my test game collaborative. It is a tutorial on Colab, and then I'll publish repository. Now I'm going to go to my repo, and I'm going to go to my repo settings. Oops, that's the wrong setting. I'm going to repo settings up here. Choose collaborators, and I will put in my I'll add people. I'll make sure I add my collaborator to whoever their email is. I'll add them here. Number 2, the first thing they need to do is they need to clone the repos. So they're going to open up GitHub Desktop. They're going to go to repository. Actually, they're going to go File, Clone Repository, and we're going to do it from a URL. And you can put in a URL for that repository. So I have the repository already open. This is my test collab game. I will copy my link. Go over to GitHub Desktop, I'll paste it in, and I need to choose a new local path. Make sure that you put it somewhere that already makes sense for you, and then you'll click Clone. At the start of every single class, you're going to click Fetch Origin, because you're going to notice that the current master branch has a commit on GitHub that does not exist on your machine. So my partner has made changes to the project. So both of you at the start of the day, pull your origin, and that's going to update. The remote server is going to have all the changes now on your local computer. So now when I'm on construct, I'd go back to the editor.construct. I'm going to open my local project folder that I just pulled. And any changes that are here should now exist. So you'll notice that last time my partner renamed the event sheet to partner 1 and partner 1. Those changes now exist on my machine. At the start of each class, you're both going to fetch the origin. Then you make your changes to separate parts of the project. One person might be working on layout 2. The other person might be working on layout 1. It's okay to have different instances of each player on here. That's fine. As long as partner 2 is not editing partner 1's sections of the project. That goes for the sprites, that goes for the event sheets, that goes for the layouts, that goes for the timelines, that goes for everything. As long as you're not editing things at the same time, then your collaboration won't have any problems. But that's it. That's how you go about collaborating on construct 3. So now your workflow is you've set up your project initially. At the start of every day, you're going to pull commits. Oh, sorry, at the start of every day, you have to close construct 3 because you cannot pull any commits that while construct 3 is open because it won't actually edit it. So you have to close construct 3, fetch the origin. If there's changes, you're going to pull them. Then you can go ahead and go to your editor. You can open up your local project folder, do your edits for the day. When you're done for the day, you're going to save it, close construct. You'll see any changes you've made, make your commits. This one might be P1, and I would say added sprites, and I'm going to add these notes from my other player. Added sprites to note 1. I'll commit it, and then I'll push. So you both have to make commits and pushes at the end of the day. Now if I look at my history, you'll be able to see who made commits where and what things were actually added at different times. So that's it. That's how you would collaborate together on a game.